huge. Like, you feel like you're a Beatles season finale craziness. But I could not imagine coming back on any other show. Like, it's like the perfect. It's like, I feel like after Dexter, I'm like, where do I go from here? It's like dating a great guy. And now I'm like, oh, what can I do better? Yeah. So I'm very excited.
Which is kind of where I wanted to start this with you. Sure. Isn't your first experience of coming into a show that's already been going?
Right.
Were you able to take anything from that Dexter experience, jumping on that train and bring it to coming into the show?
Yes. Try not to mess it up. And, you know, it's funny. It's like being the new kid in school. You're like, God, where do I sit in the cafeteria? Or, you know, there's like a family and a bonding that's already pre-existing before you get there. So, you know, everyone on Dexter, Michael C. Hall, Jennifer Carpenter, are super welcoming. And I thought that was kind of like a fluke. And they were very supportive. And they created an environment where you're allowed to, like take risks and play and try things, right? And not be all, like, self-conscious and guarded. And here, these people are some of the most, I mean, let me tell you, I had no place to stay when I first got here. I've been sleeping at Leslie Ann's, okay? So Leslie Ann's, I'm crashing on her couch. She's been cooking me food. This is her shirt. And she literally got from her, she's like, I'm going to hook you up with some fancy Japanese designer. And, like, this is the kind of female-to-female support that I am just so giddy about, you know? And I'm getting a little bit, like, even Lauren, like, on my coverage, when it's my close-up, Lauren is like, boom, 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 and just giving it all. I'm like, you know, for a girl who's like the new girl on the team, to just be welcomed with open arms by the girls who are super hot and funny and attractive and talented, it's like heaven. So it's been great. So I just learned to, like, do good work, you know, follow everyone's lead, and then if they're welcoming and inviting, just go in for the high.
So we heard that your character is a woman of faith.
Yes.
What can you tell us about how she's going to fit into the story and interact with Lucifer and other characters?
Yeah, so she's a forensic scientist. So she's out on the crime scenes with Chloe and Lucifer consistently. And Lucifer is completely intrigued by her because she is a woman of faith and is not confused, you know, by like God. Whereas like Lucifer is completely confused by God, and he's intrigued that she is so confident and clear in her faith. And I always, you know, the writers were telling me that it's almost like God is like this rock star where he's inspiring to all these people he's never met, but he's kind of like a crappy dad to his own kid. So in the same way, you know, God is like this inspiring, you know, force to people globally, but he's kind of like a crappy dad that abandons his kid to Lucifer. So he's got daddy issues. She loves his dad, and she also has no sense of space with him. So she's like constantly invading his space. She's like hugging him. She's like patting him on the back. She's calling him loose, you know. And then he gives her a look, and she's like, it's her, you know. She just is like completely fearless. So I think she brings light to this in the same way I think that Jamie brought light to the dark world of Dexter. I think that Ella brings light to this underbelly of like people who are sometimes self-conscious. She completely does not judge. She's completely open to humanity. She loves people, and she loves to play. And Lucifer likes to play too, but he's a little bit more sinister. So they bond, and like they both are like kids in a candy store with like the excitement of discovery. But you know, but she's super professional, but she's kind of goofy. So I guess she brings like light into crime scenes that could just be like, oh, dead body. She's so intrigued by the body that she might like, you know, forget that she's here. Like she's just, so she brings levity to like all those crime scenes, and I think light to this underworld of Lucifer.
Is there any, I have to ask, is there going to be any kind of love connection between anything happening here that, you know, girl? Oh, yeah,
No, let's just say I'm not at liberty to say.
Okay.
But let me just say, let me just say that there's some very cool things happening. And here's the thing: what I love about her is like she's this chick who watches the same shows as Trixie. Like she watches Nickelodeon shows. She loves The Shining. She loves to wear her like rocker t-shirts. And super smart, and I love that she's like a woman of science and a woman of faith, which is such a unique thing. And you don't see also women of color a lot of times. Like I can't think of, you know, I think there's very few like Latina scientists on TV. You know, so I love that she can just be like all of those things and just represent chicks as they are, like sexy, cool, funny, a little cool sometimes, super smart, and